do believe that the main risk today is the risk of division of the world. You have to choose your side. If we do so, we will kill the global order.
Yes, China is a rival, but not necessarily a threat.
I'm in Singapore. This is the Shangri-La Dialogue. It's known as Asia's top defense summit, where military officials and experts gather and discuss the region's most pressing security challenges. But here's the thing, it's organized by a British think tank, and for years it's been a highly West-dominated forum. What tops the discussion this year? Let's break it down. At the summit, US Defense Secretary Hegseth spent over 30 minutes urging Asian nations to see China as a threat and choose the US as their security partner.
And I'm going to keep coming back and back and back again. You're stuck with me. But it's not just me. America is proud to be back in the Indo-Pacific, and we're here to stay.
The remarks come as doubts linger about Trump administration's reliability, especially after humiliating Europe in Munich and hurting allies with tariffs. But behind America's ambition lies a more realistic and patronizing message.
But thanks to President Trump, Asian allies should look to countries in Europe. NATO members are pledging to spend 5% of their GDP on defense, even Germany.
And I think his message was clear. He tried to mobilize the regional country to stand with the US, to share the burden with the US against China. I think this is the message I got.
And do you think countries within this region would pick sides, like choose US over China?
I don't think so. I think I'm a frequent visitor to Singapore and to the regional countries. I think the answer from the other voice from the region, I think, has been quite clear that this region does not want to choose side between China and the United States. This region's benefit will be maximized if they try to keep the balance between China and the United States.
But how are Asian countries responding?
We doesn't want to pick a side either for China or US. We're trying to strengthen our military capability by having relations with China, with US, also with Eastern Europe countries, something like that. So we don't want to take a side whether we any blocks in any other defense pact, something like that.
And do you see China, like as Hegseth put it, a threat or a partner that could work with?
Yeah. I just heard that in the speech today that he said about how China trying to build its military capability, and they're afraid of the China have any intention to invade Taiwan by 2027. Whether it is true or not, whether it's China intention or not, I think every country has their own right to build their own military capability, but we have to avoid also in terms of arms race. That's not good.
We also value our vibrant and firm ties with China and our robust partnership across Asia, Europe, and the Global South.
We hope we can have a more cooperative, friendly relationship. Between China and the US, rather than confrontational relationship. We hope we can have a positive, I call it positive security. To achieve security through dialogue, through cooperation, rather than a very negative security. That is, trying to seek peace or security through deterrence, through confrontation, through major power competition. I think, maybe you can achieve that. You can achieve your goal of avoiding a war by that, peace through strength, right? Maybe you can have a peace through strength, but that kind of strength, that kind of peace, I will say, is a negative peace. We can only avoid war, but we cannot, avoid the confrontation and the tension in this region. You are giving the regional country a big problem, a big dilemma.
One thing to keep in mind is it is an important summit, but the voices heard and the agenda pushed by the organizers are not necessarily neutral. due to its heavy Western roots.
The companies backing this event sort of explain the underlying geopolitical interests.
I mean, take a look at the sponsors. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon Technology, and BAE Systems, some of the world's largest weapon makers, and from the West.
There was no shortage of talk encouraging confrontation, but just days earlier, a different message came out of the China-ASEAN GCC summit, where the three sides agreed to deepen cooperation. ASEAN countries are prioritizing development, not division. And in today's world, cooperation is the winning move.
Actually, the first time being here, I feel kind of targeted. It's kind of lonely. I mean, this is a very West-dominated forum,
Yeah.
where they mainly talk about the Chinese presence is a bad thing. So, personally, for you, do you try to build a trust among delegates here, and how do you think would help to decrease this anti-China emotion in forums like this?
Yeah, no, this is not my first time here, and also I participate a lot of similar forums. Not all of them are, in such a scale. Sometimes closed doors, but similar atmosphere. My message to my Chinese colleague is always like this. When you heard a lot of this anti-China, rhetorics, you may get angered and you may try to maybe fight back, or you may try to explain this is not true. Yeah, this is useful, but I have to say, changing other people's perspective is a very difficult, task. So for me, the most important thing is join them, is to have your presence in those multilateral venues and platform. Try to normalize China's image. How to try to normalize China's image? Be there. Yeah, being there is the first step. If we have very strong presence here, if Chinese delegation can say a lot of things, can share China's view, then gradually you will be viewed as a normal member of this community. Maybe we debate with each other, but we're here. If you are not here, you will be the others. China need to avoid this situation of being an others, one of the others. China need to be a member of ours. You need to be a part of that community. Maybe you won't persuade them everything. You won't convince them on everything. All in all, we'll have a lot of disagreement. That's of course quite natural, but it should be a dispute or disagreement among the community members. It should not be a dispute between us and the others. This is something I think China side need to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.